The girls Division IV state championship as number 2 takes on number 6. Strasburg Franklin goes up against Newton Local. Hi everybody, welcome in once again to Sports Time Ohio's coverage of the girls OHSAA Fast Pitch State Softball Championships. Mike Cairns, glad you could join us, and I'm glad to be joined as always by the coach himself, Mitch Wagner. And coach, these two teams we'll see here tonight in Division IV. Strasburg Franklin, 5 state championships in their illustrious career. You're bringing a newbie this year in Newton Local, still looking for title number 1. How about the difference between these two squads coming into tonight's game?
Right, I think that makes for an interesting matchup, Mike. You know, of course, Strasburg Franklin is not only has 5 state tournament appearances, but they're also the defending state champs. And then you have Newton Local, who is a new team and a team that's very young with a lot of freshmen and sophomores in their lineup. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle the pressure situations.
All right, let's take a look closer at both of these squads in Division IV, beginning with the road to Akron for Strasburg, and it is littered with shutouts until a tough win in the state semifinal a couple days ago as they knocked off New Regal 4-1. Take a look at a couple of the key players, and it begins with their senior pitcher, and she can do it all from not only with the arm but with the bat as well, and that's Carly Clark.
That's right. Carly Clark has been their team leader for a couple of years now. You look at some of her statistics offensively, she's hitting .506, 12 home runs, 43 RBIs. Just astounding offensive numbers. She hits in the number 3 hole for them. And then with her pitching, she's 14-4 with a .71 ERA and 134 strikeouts.
She's in the 3 hole, and right behind her, Erin Metzger, the junior first baseman. This is quite the 3-4 pop.
Right, Erin Metzger's number 2 on their team in RBI. She's at 24 RBIs. She hits .325, and she has a couple homers as well.
They can certainly put some runs up on the board. Let's take a look at another team that does it as well in Newton Local. Let's look at their road to Akron to get them here into the state championship tonight. And some shutouts littered as well before they knocked off East Canton in an offensive display in the semifinals. You see 7-3 the final, and had a chance to look at all the different pitchers, but I'm really impressed with their freshman pitcher, Kirsten Burden. You want to talk about bright lights? This is cool as a cucumber right here.
Right, freshman lefty. And like you said, Mike, cool as a cucumber, throws the ball hard, has a terrific drop. She's at 24-3, so she's got 27 games pitching experience this year. That's a lot of games. She comes in at a .96 ERA with 181 strikeouts.
Well, as a head coach, you know it all starts with that leadoff hitter, and they've got a very good one here at Newton Local and Marina Snipes.
Right, another young player, a 10th grader. Marina Stripes comes in at .439, very dangerous leadoff hitter. She'll be a big key to their offense tonight.
So will it be number 6 for the old Wiley veterans, or will it be number 1 for the newcomer? Number 2 versus number 6 in our Division IV state championship matchup, as we have the lineups and the first pitch coming your way next here on Sports Time Ohio. Nighttime has fallen here in Akron as we close in on the Division IV state softball championship game between Strasburg and Newton Local. Mike Cairns along with Mitch Wagner bringing you all the action from Firestone Stadium. Take a look at the starting lineup for Newton Local, and head coach Kirk Cadell in his 20th year. Marina Stipes deadly at the top of the order, but that 3-4 hitter and Lacey Jackson and Hannah Oburn, that's 3 400 hitters in the first 4 batters. You see Nepper, Burden, King, Steck, and Wellborn round out the straight 9 for the Indians. And they will face off against the senior Carly Clark at 14-4 with a .71 ERA and 109 innings, 134 strikeouts to just 27 walks. And she's only allowed 50 hits, and this is the way things look. Behind her, Erin Metzger at first, Casey Gerber at second, Carly Davaco, the freshman at short, another freshman Ariel Jones at third, and then Sibley, Amistadi, and Cregan, the outfielder, and Kristen Smith behind the bench. Your home plate umpire out of Kettering, Ohio, and his 12th year behind the plate is Mike Cates, and we are set to go as the first pitch is in there for a strike to Casey Gerber. Or excuse me, Marina Snipes. I'll get it right. I'm flipping around here.
This is familiar territory for Carly Clark. Just a year ago, she started in the state championship game. She's a veteran player.
Rise ball upstairs 2-1. Clark certainly been here before. Marina Snipes deadly at the top of the order, just a sophomore. Hitting .439 on the year, and she's ahead in the count right now, 3-1. Newton Local comes in 26-5, number 6 team in the state. In the final AP poll, Strasburg, the Lady Tigers, number 2. The 3-1 pitch, and a walk for Marina Snipes to start things off here in the Division IV state championship game.
You know, Mike, we talked in the pregame about how important it is for Newton Local to have Marina Snipes generate offense, to draw that leadoff walk. She did a good job of pitch selection there, and now she has a chance to work the bases with number two hitter Ashley Robinson up.
And the junior third baseman takes that pitch for a called strike, 0-1. Clark, right back to her. Great play, looking for 2. No. Aaron Metzger could not get the foot on the bag in time and had maybe a half step on Marina Snipes.
That was a fabulous effort by Marina Snipes. Very difficult situation for a base runner there on that quick line drive. She not only changed direction quickly, but the dive back to the bag is what saved her. Great effort there.
Looked like they had a little hit and run on there. Change up. That just misses. In steps Lacey Jackson in the top 4 in this lineup, as we mentioned. 3 400-plus hitters in the top 4. Dangerous all the way through.
That is a tough road to get through.
Throw back. Snipes is back in time. Jackson, a junior, getting .426 on the year. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Down the right field line, 2-1. 1 out here, top of the first, Division IV state championship game from Firestone Stadium. Glad you could join us here on Sports Time Ohio. The Lady Tigers of Strasburg against the Indians of Newton Local. 2-1 pitch, screwball inside, and that one just missed. 3 balls and a strike. Lacey Jackson.
I'm a little surprised that Holly Parks fell behind 3-1 on 2 of these first 3 hitters.
And she walked it.
Really missed badly with that pitch, considering the count. She might be just a little nervous. What I really like is seeing Kristen Smith go out and talk to her, try to calm her down before this gets any more dangerous.
Screwball missing low. Kristen Smith, the junior, goes out, talks to her senior pitcher. One thing you'll notice about both of these teams in Division IV, Coach, both of them very, very young. 4 sophomores for Newton Local and a freshman. Couple of freshmen and a sophomore and a few juniors for Strasburg. So these are 2 young squads here competing for a state championship. That one grounded foul over on the left side.
Yeah, it's an interesting, when you look at the Strasburg team, an interesting combination of state championship veterans and brand new players, and how they've melded together to have another great season and return to the state final. That says a lot, I think, for the coaching staff to be able to make that happen.
Well, you talk about setting up feeder programs so much, and if you have a good one in place, you can take those younger players, the freshmen and so on, and mingle them in with those juniors and seniors and keep the ball rolling. Change up is upstairs. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. Upstairs, 2-1. The 2 balls, 1 strikes to the number 4 hitter, Hannah Oburn, hitting .429 on the year. Runners on first and second here. The Indians threatening in the top of the first. That one ripped over the left side. Nice play by the shortstop, Carly DeBacco, but not in time, and bases are loaded. DeBacco got the deflection off of Ariel Jones's glove, but could not get Marina Snipes. Take another look.
These are little things that don't show up in the statistics, Mike, but Marina Snipes gets a great jump here when the ball comes off on the ground and beats the force out. You know, you're constantly preaching to your base runners, take away the force, get aggressive coming off on your lead. If she hadn't got down there quite so quick, it would be a different inning right now.
Junior shortstop Brooke Nepper. That one Grounded to Jones. Jones coming home for the force, but Smith can't handle it. One run comes home. Here comes another. And the Indians on top 2-0. Ariel Jones, the freshman, released that one just a little too quickly, but she had to try to beat Snipes coming down the line. Sets up the 2 runs early.
Yeah, that was a, you know, there were some nerves on that play. Just got rid of the ball a little too hot.
Number 16, Kristen Bennett.
In steps the pitcher, Kirsten Burden. Talked about in the open, the freshman. What an outstanding freshman season she's had. 22 wins and just 3 losses, an ERA under a run a game. 5'6" freshman takes that rise ball up top. And Carly Clark, the veteran, struggling here in the first inning with her accuracy, Coach.
She really is. She's falling behind almost every hitter, and it hurt her with the last hitter. She got behind and had to throw a pitch fat that was hit hard. Now behind 3-0 here.
Screwball low. 3-0, runners on second and third, 2 runs already in for Newton Local. The throwing error lets in 2 runs. Runners on second and third, 1 down, a 3-0 count to the pitcher, Kirsten Burden. And that catches the outside corner, strike 1.
But Kirsten Burden should get a good look at this pitch again. Carly Clark's going to have to come with something pretty fat. Nope. Missed with it.
Screwball outside, ball 4. And that is the 4th walk this inning for Carly Clark. Her infield going to come in to talk to her. Casey Gerber, Aaron Metzger. Going to meet their head coach, Bud Weisgarber, out at the mound to talk this one over.
They're going to go ahead and make a pitching change here.
And Weisgarber not going to take any chances.
For Newton Local, number 15, Casey Thompson.
As in comes Casey Gerber, and he did this the other night.
Now pitching for
Right,
Carly Clark struggled, gave up a big home run in the ball game, then threw 2 wild pitches to the very next batter. Coach Weisgarber did not waste any time, and he brought in Casey Gerber. And Gerber came in to finish the game.
Right, you can look at those numbers. 0.45 ERA, 123 strikeouts to 7 walks. She's a very, very good pitcher. I remember her very well from last year. She came in and relieved Carly Clark in both the semifinal and final game last year, and I thought she looked terrific. She throws the ball hard, has a nice rise ball, and yeah, Coach obviously had to make the move much earlier than he would have expected here, but Carly Clark just really seemed to be struggling. She never really seemed to find her rhythm and her control.
She comes into a tough situation. She faces the sophomore right fielder, Fawn King, with a bases loaded, 1 out. Curveball, high. Kristen Smith jumped on it, ball 1. That one's in for a called strike. Carly Clark goes over to second base, where Gerber was playing. 1-1 pitch. Gerber delivers 1-2.
Nice curveball there, 57 miles an hour. She can definitely throw some power pitches. She can blow the ball by hitters.
The 1-2 pitch, inside corner, got her strike 3.
Great pitch, came inside, jammed the hitter. The hitter never expected to see that. I think she was leaning out over the plate looking for another curve.
What a start for Casey Gerber.
Beautiful pitch.
Looked almost like a little bit of an inside curveball.
Yeah, it looked like a screwball. I think it came in and up.
2 outs now. Jammed. Force out at home. As Taylor Steck was jammed on the pitch, the 8th batter in the inning. But Ariel Jones ends the inning going home with the force out, but not before they put across 2 runs. on a base hit. An error, and they leave the bases loaded. So a good start for the Lady Tigers, and Kirsten Burden comes in and does the job.
Yeah.
The latest Ohio High School Athletic Association.
You think about what could have been in that first inning as Newton Local using 4 walks by Carly Clark to turn it into 2 runs. Of course, the error, throwing error by Ariel Jones kind of helped things a little bit.
Well, it sure is nice that if you have to go to your number 2 pitcher early, it's someone that throws as well as Casey Gerber does. And again, I'll point out just these are the kind of things that don't show up in statistics, but 2 very important base running moves there by Marina Snipes in that first inning. She avoided the double play on the line drive at first base, and then gets the great jump at second base to prevent the force out at third, and really that's what got that inning going.
Take a look at the starting lineup for Bud Weisgerber's 5-time state champs in his 26th year. Gerber, Amistadi, Carly Clark, Metzger, Smith, Cregan, Sibley, Debaco, and the freshman Ariel Jones. And they'll go up against Kirsten Burden. The freshman, what a season. 21-3, .96 ERA, 181 strikeouts on the year. And here's the defense behind her. Sophomores all throughout the outfield. Fawn King, Andy Welburn, Taylor Steck, Ashley Robinson, Nepper, and Snipes, along with Hannah Oburn and Lacey Jackson. Burden fires a first pitch to Gerber, and that's fouled down the right field line.
Nice to see a lefty on the mound. I haven't seen a lefty here in a while.
What does that do
for
a batter to see a left-handed pitcher?
Oh, it really depends on the hitter. Some hitters, it doesn't bother them to have that curve break in on their hands coming from a left-hander. Others, it's very difficult.
The 0-1 pitch. Whoa, that one lined hard. Yeah. Our cameraman, Robert over there, taking the blow. Lined up top. There he is. Robert, you all right? He's good. Good to go. Told you our crew's on top of it. You got to live in some dangerous territory if you're going to bring a top-notch coverage here, state championship softball. The 0-2 pitch misses. That's hazard pay, Robert. You're all right.
I think the one very difficult thing that a left-hander offers right-handed hitters is that curve that starts out outside and breaks back over the outside edge of the plate. It's very easy to get caught looking at a called third strike.
Grounded into the ground. Ashley Robinson comes up, makes the play, 1 down. That brings up the center fielder, Sarah Amistadi. The senior batting .368. 11 RBIs, 14 stolen bases. This is one you do not want on the base pass. She's got the speed. She takes the first one in there. That one, did she go? No, she did not. 2-0 pitch, foul down the right side, back to the screen. 2 balls, 1 strike. Again, kind of a murderer's row in these next 3 batters in Amistadi, Clark, and Metzger. Misses upstairs. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out here, bottom of 1. Newton Local on top. 2-0. That one flared into right field, coming on, diving catch.
Oh, what a fabulous catch.
The sophomore sliding and makes a tremendous catch to Rob Amistadi.
I absolutely thought that was in there. That is just a superb play out there.
Great catch by the lefty. Stay down on it, and out number 2. In steps the toughest out in the lineup, Carly Clark. 506, 12 home runs, 43 RBIs. Freshman has to be careful here. Clark may not be pitching anymore after she got taken out early, but she can get some runs back in a hurry. The 1-0 pitch, upstairs, swing and a miss. Fouled back to the screen, 1 and 2. The 1-2 pitch from Burden. Change up, got her.
What a
3
beautiful
up,
pitch
3
right
down.
there.
And defense setting the tone early here for Newton Local. Vaughn King with the highlight catch in the first inning. And the Indians up by 2 after 1. Welcome back to Firestone Stadium, the Division IV state championship game. The Indians of Newton Local on top with the Tigers of Strasburg Franklin 2-0. A reminder, tonight's starting lineups were brought to you by Farmers Insurance. Farmers Insurance, because ready feels good. Number 9 hitter, Andy Wellbaum, steps in to face Casey Gerber.
Mike, you asked me in the opening about nerves. We haven't seen any nerves at all from Newton Local, even though this is their first trip to the state final and have all those young players. They were aggressive in the first inning, swinging the bat on the bases, and their pitcher looked great in that first inning.
The 0-1 pitch, foul back. 0-2 for the sophomore center fielder. Here's a look at Kirk Cadell. His 20th season. 428 wins in his career, 368 wins for Cadell at Newton Local. The 0-2 pitch, strike 3.
There's that big rise ball that she can come with when she gets ahead. Has good vertical movement on it, coming at 56 miles an hour. You're going to see a steady diet of that when she gets ahead of hitters. Beautiful pitch.
Second strikeout for Casey Gerber. And now the top of the lineup, Marina Snipes. Snipes walked and scored in the first. She takes ball 1. Swinging 1-1. Right now, Casey Gerber keeping the Indians batters guessing. She's mixing her pitches up very well. The 1-1 pitch. That one batted up the middle, base hit. And Snipes has been on for the second time in as many at-bats.
Good piece of hitting there by Marina Snipes. She had swung at a rise ball, and really was a good pitch choice to come back with a changeup, but she was able to keep her hands back and drill it up the middle.
Interesting to see what coach does here. Robinson 0 for 1. Line back to the pitcher her first time up. She's swinging down the right field line. Snipes has good speed over there at first base. 0-1.
And I like it that Newton is not shy about swinging the bat. They're in there attacking.
You know, why not? With Jackson and Coburn behind you, a couple of 400 hitters, you can increase this lead. That one's fouled back to the screen, 0-2. We're in the top of the second here, Division IV state championship game here on Sports Time Ohio. Mike Cairns, Mitch Wagner from Firestone Stadium. Glad you could join us tonight. It's the Lady Tigers of Strasburg, the number 2 team in the state, going up against the Indians of Newton Local, who finished number 6 in the final AP poll. The 0-2 pitch, got her swinging, strike 3.
Nice pitch, jammed her inside, down and low.
Three strikeouts now for Casey Gerber. Good pitch inside, that screwball. Brings up Lacey Jackson, walked and scored her first time up. Back in the first. Foul back to the screen, 0-1. Notice the stickers on the helmets for Newton Local. One of the teams that gives those rewards, much like the Buckeye leaves and you see at Ohio State, some of the other schools. That one fouled back to the screen. Out of play, 0-2. And that could be for any number of things, from a key base hit to a key defensive play to great base running. There's all sorts of different things you can use.
I always like to see a hitter earn one of those for a good sacrifice bunt.
I'm sure there's plenty of those. And she has a chance here to move some runners, but she's down 0-2 with 2 outs.
This is where we'll often see Casey Gerber come back with that big rise ball. Change speed.
Lined up the middle. Base hit. 2 on, 2 outs.
Twice in the same inning, she's come with the changeup when she was well ahead and got burned on it both times. They're doing a good job of making the adjustment.
Hannah Oburn singling her first time up. 2 outs here. Pitch is inside, ball 1. Oburn lines it back in the screen, 1-1. Kind of a humid night here at Firestone Stadium. The light